and Romania. I don't know if we talked about that,
Now,
but
let me stop you there before we go to Romania, because that's a great story that I definitely want you to tell. I want to back up higher level, because my hope is that parents and wrestlers are going to listen to this podcast, and they might not even know that beach wrestling exists. So
mhm,
let's back up a little bit higher level and say, wait a minute, let's count it off. Folk style,
yep,
make it elementary. Folk style is the number one by far in the States, in the United States, by far. Popularity wise, it's what's done in high school. It's what's done, by the way, it's important to point out, it's what's done for girls wrestling in high school.
yes,
Um,
correct.
and I don't want to get off on a tangent too much, because I want to go back to my other points. But the reason why that's done, in my opinion, is because it allows an easy transition for coaches in the same wrestling room. Girls can come into the room. We can teach the same the same style, instead of pushing them off in the corner and saying you got to learn leg laces and all that kind of stuff. So back to my point, we got folk style, we got freestyle,
Mm-hmm.
which is the Olympic sport. Everybody knows about the Kyle Snyders and the David Taylors and
Yep.
all those guys that are our USA, heroes for going off to the Olympics. And then Greco-Roman, which is huge.
Yep.
It's the original style of wrestling, right? Goes
Yep.
way back to the old days. And again, not to be too personal, but I want to see us win Greco-Roman titles, just like I want to see us win
Oh,
freestyle.
for sure. Yeah.
Yep, and then girls wrestle freestyle. Maybe one day they'll wrestle Greco-Roman. There's word of that.
Yep.
And then of course there's other styles of wrestling, belt,
Yep.
which not many people know about. But
Belt wrestling is wild. I witnessed my first belt tournament while we were there in Romania, so we'll go back to that. But it is definitely interesting.
let's not go back to that, because I don't want to confuse people too much. Let's get to the point. Let's talk about sand wrestling.
Okay. Yeah, so that's like you said, you've got folk style, freestyle, Greco, and then we have beach wrestling. And a lot of people don't know that under the USA Wrestling umbrella, we have associated styles, and associated styles is like its own little world. And like you said, we have beach, belt wrestling, and grappling. And I think grappling is separated now, but beach wrestling is absolutely awesome. There is a flow wrestling piece with Mike Mao. He does like a really short clip, and it explains the rules. Just a quick rundown. That is one of my favorite things to watch for new people that want to get into it. So if you're listening to this, check out the Mike Mao clip. It's really easy. It's a 3-point tech fall, 3-point feet to back takedown. So if you do like a suplex, anything, head and arm, anything like that, 3 points ends the match. A regular takedown, 1 point. A push out, 1 point. So you need 2 push out points and 1 takedown, you win the match. And then it ends in 3 minutes. It's a 3-minute period match. That's it. So it's a really cool, fast pace, looking for big moves. I'm really confident that it's going to be an Olympic sport by 2028. It's gaining popularity really quick. A lot of the marketing people in sports are saying that like sand sports are going to be the big trends coming up over the next 5 or 10 years. So, like beach volleyball, beach soccer, all that stuff is really growing really fast right now.
And you're not just saying that. You've heard that. You've kind of been, like you mentioned, you were in Colorado Springs, so you know that this is a push from USA Wrestling to try to make sure that the infrastructure is there, that if and when it happens, that we're going to be on the winning end of these gold medals, right?
Oh yeah, there's no doubt in my mind. That's what we're gearing up for right now. That and I believe that that's part of my job with USA Wrestling, is to really grow the cadets and juniors. That's where my responsibility is, I feel like, to USA Wrestling, especially with USA Wrestling Ohio. I feel like I'm going to be bringing a large group of Ohio girls to these world championships, and I'm confident that the first gold medal will come out of Ohio. That's my hope and my dream, is that we get the first cadet or junior gold medal out of Ohio. So that's kind of where my motivation and my responsibility lies is to Associated Styles and beach wrestling, because if we don't start developing our cadets and juniors now, everywhere else in every part of the world is developing beach wrestling. The Europeans, I hate to use this phrase, but they demolished us in Romania. You know what I mean? Like their hand fight is so different and so nitty gritty compared to ours. It really made me change the way that we hand fight in the room and the attention to detail that we focus on the hand fight. I don't know if other parts of our country are focusing on hand fighting like the Europeans are, but if you're not, you're going to miss out on it when you go over to Europe and you wrestle, because they were just setting stuff up that we're not even used to defending here. So I know we have to develop it. You know what I mean? Like if we just sit on our hands and don't develop our cadets and juniors, then when that Olympics come in 2028, we won't be prepared at all. So that's kind of my big goal, is just to develop cadets and juniors, especially here in Ohio, and just continue making that push for that, because like you said, a lot of people don't know about beach wrestling. They don't know that it's gaining popularity. They don't know that it's creating opportunity. And I think we talked about this a little bit before, like the qualifiers here in America, there's like 24 to 48 empty spots. And I am just begging for girls to come fill those spots, or boys even, you know. And I'm not able to fill the spots. So it's definitely a catch-22, but it's definitely gaining popularity. The publicity that we received when we went to Romania was huge. So many college coaches following along to what was going on in Romania, so many different media outlets. It was just really incredible what that first trip did for our whole group.